Hello, New Mexico. Are you ready for a new direction for America? A direction towards peace, where we celebrate social and economic justice, where we embrace the world community courageously and fearlessly and optimistically. That's good, because I'm ready too. It is so good to be here. Can you see me okay? Okay, great. It is so good to be here, and I'm so grateful to all of you. And would you please join me in thanking an extraordinary musician. Tim Reynolds is just terrific. I have been so grateful to have Tim's help on the campaign trail. He's flown across the country to be with us at one event after another. And you know what I like about it is it sets a tone. It sets a vibration, if you will. And it's a good one, sorry. I couldn't resist that. And really what a leader ought to do is to set the highest tone for a nation. Do you know, in quantum physics class, in quantum physics, a lower vibrating frequency will attune to a higher vibrating one. It's a concept known as entrainment. And if you translate that to government, and as President of the United States, what I will endeavor to do is to set the highest octave for international relations, so that we can set aside policies of preemption and unilateralism which separate us from the world community. I will act on a vision of a world as one, of a vision which is interconnected and interdependent, of a vision, an holistic world vision where we can contemplate the possibility of all people all over the world working together and living together, coexisting peacefully, creating a world where war is no more. We must believe in our capacity to do that. In evolution, there is this concept. In those who study evolution, they know that there is a track of biological evolution where there's an arc, and there's a point at which there'll be a break and a quantum leap. They can't always, evolutionary biologists cannot always explain why it happens, but they know it does happen. I think that we are right at the threshold of profound social evolution in this world. It's both social and spiritual, in a sense, that we are the ones who will make it possible to create a world where where what Franklin Roosevelt called the science of human relations we will perfect that to the point of where we will be the ones who took that quantum leap to create a world not only where war is no more, but to create a world where all of the old thinking which brought us to believe that war is inevitable is just swept aside, that we really are on the threshold of something dramatic, and that we are the ones that actually, we're the ones that you've been waiting for. You are the ones we've been waiting for, actually. And this is the moment that we get the opportunity to challenge that capacity that each of us has for growth. And my gosh, do we need to do that in our leaders. We need to expect of those who would lead this country to stretch their own capacities, to do it in every way, emotionally, spiritually, in every way. This is a moment when America, we're just at the threshold of this new opportunity to reconnect with the world. What a great tragedy it is, then, that we've seen in America separate itself from the world community. What a great tragedy it is that we have found ourselves thrust into an illegal war, a war of aggression against a nation that did not attack us. There's so much healing to do in America today, and yet we're capable of doing it. It would be easy to despair at the moment and to say, well, we're almost living the words of Yeats' Second Coming poem, turning and turning in a widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer, all things fall apart, the center cannot hold. His writing presaged an age of discontinuity, of disintegration. But you know what? We have the potential to bring things together, to create something coherent. Even at this moment, when things seem dislocated, when things seem shattered, when our hopes for an America that can lead with integrity, an America that can lead with honesty, an America that can lead with a sense of even purity, those hopes seem dashed. This is exactly the moment when our hopes, in the words of Shelley, can recreate from their own wreck the thing it contemplates, peace. And so this moment is the moment when we can achieve a victory of hope over fear, a victory of love over hate, a victory of peace over war. But it starts within the heart of each of us. As President of the United States, I intend to call forward from the American people the capacities that I know exist in every person in this country, the capacities for optimism, the capacities for fearlessness and courage. I mean, this is part of our heritage. Our national anthem contains a clue. Think of the words. Does that star-spangled banner yet wave, or the land of the free and the home of the brave? Francis Scott Key made the connection between freedom and bravery, between courage and democracy. It was a clue to what we must do to keep a nation together and to keep it free. After 9/11, how much better it would have been, infinitely better, if our president had come forward and embraced the world as it was embracing the United States and reconnected with the heart of the world as the world's heart was open to the United States. How much better it would have been. And there's still time to do it. There's still time to do it. It's not too late. It's not too late. And yet we saw the separation. In 70 years, we've gone from a president who faced a nation that was in economic dislocation and despair and even disintegration. In 1933, Franklin Roosevelt looked at an America in an economic shambles, where people were fearful of whether they'd have their next meal. And he said to them, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." Oh, how far we've come from there. From Franklin Roosevelt, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself," to a president who says, "Be afraid, be very afraid." That's not sufficient for the United States of America, because that's not who we are. Courage, America! Courage, America! Courage! It's courage! It is courage that opens all the doors. It is courage that opens new opportunities. It is courage that reconnects us with the world. It is courage that will enable us to wake up each day with a renewed sense of optimism for the possibilities of peace, for the possibilities of jobs, for the possibilities of health care, for the possibilities of education, for the possibilities of retirement security, because it is courage that will enable us to reconstruct the fabric of our nation and to heal our nation and to bring the nation together and to reconnect America with the world. It is courage that will lead us down that path. So we call it forward because it's in us, because it's in our hearts. It's in our hearts. And so we tear away this veneer of this pall of darkness which is dropped on our nation like a funeral cloth. This world of color-coded threat systems, the new Orwellian weather reports. Today will be orange. Think about the danger of this. We become lulled into accepting as a convention of our everyday existence this idea that our government is going to protect us by letting us know what the terror level is. The only thing that can protect us, the only thing that can protect us is the power of the human heart and the human spirit connecting with people all over this world in a sustainable vision which works for peace and a structure of international justice. That is what will protect us. So, leave it there. It's okay. So what would that look like? What would such a world look like? Because we can't speak. Thank you. What would such a world look like? We can speak to our understanding of how we can create world peace. But it's good to bring some structure into it. And so the structure that I suggest, and which I will act on as part of our presidency, is as follows. As President of the United States, I will work with the leaders of the world to begin once again to live the principles in the Non-Proliferation Treaty so that we can do away with all nuclear weapons. Do you know, I remember, a few years ago, when in the 6th grade, we'd heard the sirens. And we immediately went to the basement, or we froze in our chairs, and we did the duck and cover drills. How many of you remember the duck and cover drills? Ah, the duck and cover nation returns. Okay. So for those who missed that, what those drills were about is that the children of America were being prepared for nuclear war. And we were told that if we only did this drill, oh my goodness, would we be saved? So we were told to duck down. And we were told to put our heads low into our laps. I'm not going to do that because these photographers would never be able to explain what that was about. And we were told to put our heads low into our laps and to cover our heads and to keep our eyes closed tight so we wouldn't see the flash. You know, they never told us what that flash would be about. And so we lived with this mythology. And we lived with the terror of the possibility of a nuclear attack. Some of us had dreams of the missile. You know, really. I mean, I always dreamt that it was going to come at recess. And we were taught to hate the Russians. We were taught to hate them. And so that hate, that building of dichotomy separated us from our own humanity, not to mention from the Russians. I had the opportunity in 1991 to visit Russia for the first time. And as the plane broke through the clouds and approached Sheremetyevo Airport, I looked at the Russian countryside. And frankly, there's something that hit me immediately. I saw these dachas with these little wooden picket fences surrounding them. And just for miles and miles and miles. It looked like something out of 19th century Pennsylvania countryside or something. That's what it looked like. And there's something that hit me at that moment. What hit me at that moment was the humanity of the people who lived so humbly and simply. And at that moment, I began to cry because something occurred to me that we almost destroyed each other. We came this close. This is the time for a president of the United States to step forward and say, look, no more nuclear madness, no more building new nuclear weapons. We work together to get rid of them all. As president, I will take steps to do that, and I will sign the Biological Weapons Convention, the Chemical Weapons Convention, the Small Arms Treaty, the Landmine Treaty. America will join the International Criminal Court. We will sign the Kyoto Climate Change Treaty. America will rejoin the world. No more duck and cover drills. This is what a vision of hope and optimism sounds like. And you know what? It's possible. The poet Tennyson once wrote, "Come, my friends, come, my friends. 'Tis not too late to seek a newer world." It's not too late, New Mexico. It's not too late, and the time is coming near, and Tuesday is the beginning. Thank you very much. Thank you. 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 Thank you.